Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wal aqibatu lil muttaqeen. Was salatu was salamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Wa ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون صدق الله العظيم. وقال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد في شأن حبيبه إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. I've got a few questions here. Inshallah, we'll go through all those questions. Salam Imam Sahib, if you go to do Umrah, obviously there will be non-mahram. So if you touch non-mahram accidentally, will you be sinful? Ladies, when they go for Umrah, try to stay away from the man's way, especially when you're doing tawaf. You should be well outside. But I've seen some girls, some women, they try to, go in deep to kiss Hajar Aswad. Now, kissing Hajar Aswad, giving bosa to Hajar Aswad is not wajib, it is not fard. But staying away from non-mahram, it is fard. You don't touch non-mahram. And especially when you're in Makkah Sharif, especially when you're doing Hajj, and especially when you know 100% you're going to touch non-mahram when you get to Hajar Aswad. Still you keep, yourself forcing in, and it's not easy. When men go in, men can't even get to that place. It's so hard. Their Ihram Sharif is all over the place. Thalle wala kitha gaya hunda, upper wala kitha gaya hunda, banda kitha phiran lagi hunda, samajh lagdi. Last time when I went, as I was going to give bosa to Hajar Aswad, I looked down, there was a lady got stuck there. No one can help you now. She's stuck there now. And sitting there and crying. Old lady she was. I said, no one can, even though I want to, I can't help you. Why? Because there are 20,000 people behind me pushing me this side. How am I going to go push you back there? So no one was helping her. So when you go there, ladies should stay well out where there is definitely no chance to touch non-mahram. But for brother who asked the message, you are inside, you're doing tawaf, you can clearly see there is woman coming at the front. Stay away. It's not like you touch woman and it's not going to be guna. Of course it's going to be guna. But is that accidentally? Accidentally, whatever happens in Sharia, accidentally is not guna. You break your roza accidentally. It doesn't break your roza. But if you touch someone accidentally, you drop Quran accidentally. So what people do, they start giving sadaqah and all that stuff. You don't have to give sadaqah. Yeah, you should do purposely. No one really do purposely. No one does purposely. But if accidentally you drop Quran, ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you really want to. Yeah, to give yourself a bit more, let tasalli your schoon, go give sadaqah if you want to, but otherwise you don't have to. Okay. Next, Islam Hamzab is going to gym using your brother or friend's membership allowed. You using someone's membership. You tell me it's going to be allowed. Otherwise, we have all the chache, mamme, toy, phupiyan, kuriyan, we have six kids in our house. So you give one membership, the pura khandan hi toot jaye 50 bande. Brother, today I'm going, tomorrow my sister is going. After that, my dad has got some cardiac arrest issues, so he's going to go after that. Mummy nu cholesterol hai, tum kal meri membership la ji. So once in a week you go and whole khandan can go 7 times in a week. You don't do that. It's not going. No company is going to give you this policy that we're giving you this membership. You can bring all your khandan here now. No. If the company says you can't, you are lying. You're doing fraud with them. So you're going to be held accountable on the day of judgment, and the person who's using, he's going to be held accountable on the day of judgment because you're breaking the contract. So you cannot do that. This is fraud. Our scholar says, cheating Muslims, it is bad, but not as bad as cheating non-Muslim. Why? Because on the day of judgment, there is concept for Muslim going into heaven. There's concept. So if not you cheated Muslim, on the day of judgment, he's going to come. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, give him, he cheated you, so you can take his that many namazah, that many roze or hajj. That's fine. Equal, done. Why, okay, you can go and you can go. But when a non-Muslim is going to come, there is no concept for him going in heaven. So he can't take your namaz. So for you is only punishment now. You can't give anything for compensation. So the only thing you will get is hellfire. So cheating with a non-Muslim is even worse. So stay away from these things. So Salam Hamsab, I wanted to know if you're allowed to keep cactus, zakum plant in our homes. It's only because I've been told they are plants that will be in hell. Is this true? It is true. There is a tree, zakum, will be in hell. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that in the Quran as well, that the people of hellfire, whenever they want to eat something, they will be given the zakum tree full of thorns. That will be punishment as well, and they will be eating it because they will be so hungry. And then they will be, it will be thorn will going in their mouth and coming out all over the place. So thus, as a punishment. So he's saying, can we keep that tree in our house? Keeping the tree in your house is no problem. Why are you going to keep your tree in your house? Is there going to be fire in hellfire? Of course. Do you have fire in your house? Rotiyan fir pakao kisi aur jagah te jaake. Of course there's going to be fire. Who else is going to be in hellfire? They're going to be people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, actually I read the ayat, وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ, and then the qud is basically ignition of fire will be وَالنَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. What is that? The people and the stones will be in hellfire to ignite the fire of hellfire. So don't let no people come to your house. Don't have no stones in your house. No. It doesn't work like this. That something is going to be in hellfire, you can't keep at home. Yeah, you can't keep that tree at home. But that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, as a punishment for those people who go to hellfire, it will be zakum tree and boiling water. Boiling water. Because when you are thirsty, you just want to drink something, and they will be boiling water, they will say, we have no choice, we'll drink. As soon water drop on them, their body will start melting, their lips will start melting. These kind of punishment are there. So we should start acting, like a proper Muslim. As I always say, we are Muslim by names nowadays. No namaz, no roza, no hajj, no zakat, all are running away from our responsibilities. So these are the punishment there, not just for the non-Muslims. These are the punishment there for Muslims as well who are bad. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. So you can't have this tree at home. The next one, Islam Hamzab. I had a few questions actually about Qazai Umri namaz and Rosé. Qazai Umri is basically whatever namazah, the salahs you have missed in your previous life. He's asking about those namazah and the Rosé as well, whatever you missed in your previous life. For Qaza namaz, does someone need to make them up if they are a lot? Or can a person just make tawbah and carry on praying all current and future namaz from now on? That's the first question. Remember, whatever namazah or rosé you missed in your previous life, you have to make them up. Yes, you can go to Hajj. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in hadith through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that anyone who comes to Hajj, once you come to Arafah and then they go to Muzdalifah, their minor and major sins will be forgiven. And then the rights of Allah and the rights of people, everything will be forgiven. What will be forgiven? The sin, not the debt. If you owe someone 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 pounds or whatever, you need to give the car back. That doesn't mean I went to Hajj and now I don't need to give it back. No, the sin you committed that you said after 2 months I'll give you, but you never gave that back, you break the contract. That sin will be forgiven, but you have to go and give the debt back. The sin of not reading namaz will be forgiven, but you have to make up every single namaz by you reading it. You cannot say that Ramzan da aakhri Jumah aa gaya, te do nafal pad lo, te sariyan namazan maaf. Have you heard this before? People say there is something out there, it's false hadith. There is no hadith. It's not hadith. That last Friday of Ramzan, last Friday, Jumatul Wida, last Friday Ramzan, you read 2 nafil in a certain way, then all your previous namazan will be forgiven. Does it make sense? What are the previous namazan? Fard. And a nafil is compensating the fard. You know where is fard is? Fard is here. Nafil is here. Fard, then wajib, sunnat muakkida, ghair muakkida, then nafil comes underneath. And nafil is compensating the farz. Allah, no. You have to make up every single namaz, whatever you have missed. You can't just make tawbah to Allah. Yeah, make tawbah. If you're not going to read, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to forgive you because that's Allah's right. Allah says, my rights is up to me. I'll forgive you. But what if Allah doesn't forgive you? What I told you before, zakum and the boiling water. Next question he asked that if someone has to make them up, what is the best way to do this? Best way is just like you normally read namaz. Qaza namaz, you don't read sunnah qaza or nafil qaza. What you have to do the qaza namaz, farz and wajibat. Wajib is only one in all 5 times prayer is witr. So 2 farz in Fajr namaz, 4 farz in Zuhr namaz, 4 farz in Asr namaz, 3 farz in Maghrib namaz, and 4 farz and 3 witr in Isha namaz. Best way is some people, they're different way, however you want to do. Read 5 prayers at the end of the day when you come home from work, or with every namaz you can read another one more extra namaz. Just don't read, cut all the nawafil out, cut all the sunnat ghair muakkada out. So you have 2 farz, Fajr namaz, read 2 sunnah, 2 farz, and read 2 farz of Fajr namaz, previous one. 4 farz of Asr, Zohar namaz, read 4 sunnah Zohar of that day, then 4 farz, the 2 sunnah. Leave the 2 nafil at the end, don't read. Instead of reading 2 nafil, read 4 farz of your previous qaza namaz of Zohar. Asr, don't read the first 4 sunnah, because they are ghair muakkada anyway, their level of nafil. Don't read, instead of reading those 4 sunnah of ghair muakkada, read 4 farz of previous qaza umriyah, 4 farz of Asr namaz. And then for Maghrib, 3 farz and 2 sunnah of that day. And the last 2 nafil don't read. Just add 1 more rakat and read 3 farz of previous Maghrib qaza namaz. Isha, don't read no nawafil and no sunnat ghair muakkada. Like first 4 sunnat ghair muakkada, don't read. Read 4 farz of Isha namaz, 2 sunnah and 3 witr. So between 2 nafil and last 2 nafil, leave. Read the previous 4 farz and 3 witr, equal. Everything is equal to that. Just cut off all this ghair muakkada and nawafil namaz. There are only 2 ghair muakkada in all 5 days prayers. Only 2 ghair muakkada. Rest every sunnah is muakkada that you have to read. Ghair muakkada is 4 sunnah before Asr fard namaz and 4 sunnah before Isha fard namaz. So this is how you can make up your namaz if you want to. They said for qaza namaz, for qaza roze, if someone cannot make them up due to health and cannot pay fidya or pay kafara due to constrained means, what should a person do? If you cannot pay fidya, you have no money for paying fidya, or you can, and your health issues are, you are less than 90 years old, you have to pay fidya. I mean, like, how poor are you? Per roza, per fast, you have to pay only, not even a £5. £5 fitrana, they say on timetables, you have to pay £5 fitrana. It's not even £5. It's about £2.50, £3. It depends what flour you're eating at home. Aata, ghar kya kha rahe ho? What flour you eating? Right? So if you go to Tesco and you get atta 110 kilo, it's for £5. And what is the fidya amount? It's 2.5 kilo flour. 2.5 kilo flour. If you give that 24%, your 1 roza fidya is gone. So maybe £3, let's say, or £2 even, 2.50 pence per roza. And if you that poor, give 2.50 pence a month. Even though you want benefits, can give if you want to give. If you have nothing at all, then of course ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to forgive you. So Islam Hamza, acha, this is for the Jum'ah. Someone mentioned that last time. So he says, people keep walking in front of other people who are doing namaz in Jum'ah time, especially when we finish Jum'ah. As soon as namaz mukanda, and you dod lagdi hai piche ji, pata nahi ke wo roti khulli hai, Pakistan roti khul di aur khane waste, and you dodan lagdi hain. Allah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if someone is reading namaz and you are front of him, like not front of him, there is a rule. If the person reading namaz, you are front of him, you can move right or left. You're not crossing. You can move away if you want to. But crossing, Rasulullah said, if the person knows the sin of crossing the person of reading namaz front of him, he would have waited there for 40 years, 40 years for him to finish namaz. No one read namaz for 40 years. But Rasulullah giving this, the importance of him having meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're crossing in front of him. It's like, again, respect is gone, everything gone. So I can't even give that example, but those who understand the respect and manners, if elder brother and dad is speaking, and you crossing between the young brother crossing, or anyone crossing between, how rude is that? The two people having conversation, and you crossing in between. Either you cross behind that person or cross behind that person. So how you can do that? our scholars have written that, let's say the person reading namaz, first of all, he should be reading namaz behind the pillar. But here, how many pillars are we going to put here? So person reading namaz, front person sitting in front of him, just stay there for a few minutes, let him finish namaz so that you can become his sutra. Sutra is the person at the front. If there is no one in front of him, then you can read 3 masalle. Like he's reading at the namaz at the back, so one his masalla, then second masalla, then third masalla. Why? Because when you're looking down, then up to what point you can see, scholars say third masalla. After third masalla, you can cross. Oh, there's some langan again, so everyone is crossing right in front of him. Sin. And another thing actually, people think he breaks his namaz. It doesn't break his namaz. It got nothing to do with his namaz. That so if you cross front of someone, it's going to break his namaz. It doesn't break anyone's namaz. No one can break no one's namaz until he does something in his namaz which breaks your namaz. He start talking, he start walking, he start eating, drinking, all these things, blood start coming up, breaks wuzu, all these things breaks namaz. But no one else can break your namaz, no matter what he's doing. Or you laugh in your namaz that loud. Otherwise, namaz never breaks. So if someone passing in front of you, he is becoming sinful, your namaz is perfectly fine. Don't leave no gaps. There's no COVID. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, you know, when he was straightening lines, he used to stick with it. He used to stick with him to straighten the lines and no gaps between. And when you come back from sajda, you know, look down again, are you straight? उस सजदे से वापस आना एक आगे होया होता है, एक पीछे होया होता है, एक साइड तो होया होता है, एक मुंह तो फिरे होता है. No. When you stand straight. If you stand straight, Allah will make your heart straight. So don't do it for anyone. Do it for yourself. Acha, next one is, Imam Sahib, can a traveler imam become imam for resident muqtadis at Jumah prayer? No matter what prayer is, either it's Jumah prayer or normal prayer. He can become imam for the people who are local. So he's saying because the traveler, he has to read qasr namaz, half namaz. Jumah has no half namaz. There are only 2 rakat in Jumah. Yeah, if you were asked the question about Zohar namaz, I would say something else. But Jumah namaz, there are only 2 rakat anyway. So he's going to read 2 rakat. So anyone who's behind him, they're going to read 2 rakat as well. So Jumah has got nothing to do with that. That's fine. You can become imam. Yeah, it is written in our books when imam musafir, if he is doing any 4 farz namaz, asr, isha or zohar, so these are the only 3 namazas you can do qasr, you can do half. If he is reading namaz, he should let people know behind that I am musafir. So after 2 rakat, I'll make salam, you stand up and make up your rest of the namaz. Adda siyapa hi keda pe hai? Adda bhi keda siyapa pe? Tu piche khalo, Allah de bande 2 minute namaz padhan de. Let's say you told everyone that after me finishing namaz, stand up and make up your rest of the namaz. Maybe as soon as you start namaz, someone came after that. What is he going to think? How is he going to read namaz? Why are you going to mess up people's namaz up? Traveler should never become imam. If he's going to read qasr namaz, stand behind and then you read namaz behind a local imam. But Jummah namaz, it shouldn't be any problem anyway. Why? Because he's only going to read 2 farz namaz. So everyone's reading 2 farz. So it should be okay. When your husband dies, is a woman not allowed to see his face? Does she have to start iddat straight away? And if a wife dies, what does a man do? If there is no body, can a husband or a wife give ghusl to each other? So the 3-4 questions the sister asked. If when husband dies, a woman not allowed to see his face? Of course she can see face. Husband can see face of his wife. Wife can see face her husband. Puri dunya mu takkan lagi hundi hai, zanani nu side tak laya hunda. Tu nahi tak sakdi, baki sari dunya takkan lagi hundi non-mahram. All of them are. Why? Because your nikah is gone. Nikah is still there. Yeah, in certain things, nikah is gone. What is that? Husband cannot touch wife. Even though it's written in our books, in fiqhi books. Husband can lower his wife in the grave as well by holding the coffin, by holding the shroud. He can lower his wife down as well, but don't touch the body. So he can lower his body down, his wife's body down. He can look at his wife. She can look at her husband once he passed away. Next, she said, does she have to start iddat straight away? As soon husband dies, that second your iddat starts. As soon husband give divorce, iddat starts that moment. It's husband's job. If he's in different city, different country, and as soon he gives divorce, he has to let wife know, look, I've given you divorce, and this is the time I gave divorce. That time, write down the time, right? Because she has to finish her iddah at that time. And many other problems, they occur if they don't let them know. Now, after 10 years, people phone me that, I never completed my iddah because husband never told me. Can I do now? No. At that point, it starts after 3 menstruation finish. For woman whose husband passed away, 4 months or 10 days, starting the time, the minute husband passed away. So she has to start her iddah straight away there and then. She can't go to janaza anyway outside because she can't leave house. Going to janaza is not necessary. And plus it's not wajib or fard upon woman anyway. And if a wife dies, what does it mean? What does man do? Basically, she's asking, can we give bath to each other? So the next question is, can we give bath to each other? In very extreme conditions. And that extreme condition are never there. There is no Muslim there, no man there, or even non-Muslim, any man. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਧਰੇ ਉਹ ਗਵਾਚ ਗਏ ਹੋ ਕਿਤੇ ਜੰਗਲਾਂ 'ਚ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਮਰ ਗਿਆ. Now maybe you can do that, but normally never happens. So it's just the question. So then a husband can give and wife can give to each other. Otherwise you cannot. And again, you have to cover the satar properly. Cover the satar. Even though when we go and give bath to man, we have to leave the satar covered, like from naf, belly button up to knees must be covered. For women, maybe all that part must be covered, and then you give bath. What is giving bath? You know, I know it's sunnah way of doing it. A door road your sari body, but body puri wet hogi, bath ho gaya. That's all you have to do. You know, flowing water on the body, that is bath. Simple. Yeah, then it's sunnah way. Nostrils and all that wuzu and all that doing things. Yeah, you do it. But just throw water in these extreme conditions. If you don't want to touch the body, then just throw water on it. Okay, this is a very important question as well. Salam Mamsam, I want you to ask, as I suffer arthritis, I was told I can shorten my Isha prayer, so now I only read 4 farz, 2 sunnah and 3 witr in Isha namaz. Is that okay or am I wrong? I have numerous health problems, so I'll be really tired by Isha time. No matter what bimari you're going through, no matter what illness you're going through, or you have no illness and you're reading 4 farz of Isha namaz, 2 sunnah of Isha namaz and 3 witr, that is namaz. Rest everything is extra. What is nafil? In English, nafil is called option. Sunnat ghair muakkada before 4 farz Isha namaz, it comes in nafil anyway. That's why it's called ghair muakkada, non-emphasized sunnah. Rasulullah left them without any reason. So you can read those 4 sunnah, that's fine. After 2 sunnahs, you can read 2 nafil, and last 2 nafil after witr, you can leave them as well. So Isha namaz, either you're going through any illness or you're not going through any illness. This is the namaz, 4 farz, 2 sunnah and 3 witr. Rest, if you want to read some more, to get sawab, of course you can. Otherwise you can just read this namaz and your namaz perfectly fine. ठीक है जी, जज़ाकल्लाहु खैर, मा अलैना इल्लल बलागुल मुबीन. अच्छा, टाइम हो गया जी.